Hello, everyone. I'm excited. I had some time today and I am on fire. And I wanted to come on today and talk to those of you who are maybe having a hard time with life. I felt inspired to go talk about this today. I was thinking this morning, I actually just got up and felt inspired to go do a live because Monday's not my usual live days. Monday's a planning day. I'm doing a mastermind course. I have class on Mondays. I have other things that usually happen on Mondays. But I thought today, hello, Valerie. I felt inspired to come on today after getting out of my mastermind course this morning and come and first of all say hi to all of you because I love all of you. But I also felt like I needed to come on and just do a live today. And my first thought this morning is, what the hell am I going to talk about? This month I'm launching some other things. I'm doing my spirit communication course. I'm doing all these things, and I really stayed focused on those. But I asked the question this morning, what do you all need to hear from me? And it came very loud and clear during my mastermind course. And so I had to put something on for the why is what I labeled this. And that is what we're going to talk about. But as I sat today with Spirit and in my morning meditation, and I have kind of really been opening up and listening because for me, my life has not been easy lately. And things seem very hard and very difficult. And so I thought that's what I would come on and talk about today, because what do we do? How do we manage? What do we do when we seem like everything's just being thrown at us and we don't know what to do with it all? It gets overwhelming. It's hard. And the thing is that I'm not any different than you are. I think some people think, oh, she just lives in that place of love and light and her life is just perfect. Well, there's your first lie to yourself right there, because my life is anything but perfect. I am grateful for my life. I'm grateful for the lessons that I learned, but it doesn't mean that it's easy. And here recently for the past, year and a half, I'll say the last year and a half for me has been really, really rough. And for those of you who are listening today, if you've had a rough time recently, post a hell yes in the comments. Those of you who know me, it's either a hell yes or a hell no. If you're feeling all full of love and light, this conversation may not be for you today. But if you are struggling, if you are having a hard time, this conversation is for you. And I would encourage you to join in on the conversation with us. Put your comments in. But if you are having a rough time, post a hell yes in the comments. Georgiana's a hell yeah. Because I too have been having a really rough time. It seems like no matter where I turn or what I go, Valerie is a yes. No matter where I turn or where I go, it just seems like there are obstacles in my way. And sometimes it's not because we're out there and we do. Jody's a hell yes. Thank you. And it's not always because we're manifesting this. We came here to learn. We came here to have experiences. Not all of it is about us. Some things get thrown at us. Some things, we're involved in, I have had a really rough last few months. I won't lie. And I have lots of people, well, you come on here and you're all put together and you're all, well, for one, it's because I do my healing work. That's why. But the other part of me knows that I still got to get up and I still got to keep going. And how can I do that? And how can I best serve? So I'm going to share with you some things and not all the details that have been going on in my life, because I want you to understand we all have a story and we all have a hard time. And I'm not sharing this because it's like, oh, Gina's life is really rough. It's not about that. This is about coming and meeting on an energetic level where we understand that not everything is roses. I literally have had people tell me, your life is so perfect. What do you have a problem with? And I'm like, you obviously don't know me deep down inside, because there have been a lot of changes in my life recently. There have been a lot of things going on. And I'm just like you. I don't just get up every day and go to this place of gratitude and love and light. Because the healer in me, because I know, because what I have learned over the last 15 years, we have to deal with our emotions. We have to be willing to go to that place with ourselves and go, why are you sad? Why are you angry? What is going on? What is it inside that you need to heal from? What is it that's coming up for you? Because this is why these feelings keep coming up. And the thing that I have realized here recently is I'm having these experiences on the outside because there are things that I need to heal from. And yes, the healer needs to heal, and there's things that I need to look at, and there's things that I need to see. Why is this affecting me this way? Why is it that I feel this way? Why is it that I'm going through these, and what is it that I need to understand? And we can't always get to that place right off the bat. A lot of times I have to give myself permission to be sad, angry, mad, pissed off, raging, heartbroken, whatever those feelings are. And that heartbroken one is the one that we come back to a lot, because this anger, this sadness, this is all just, this anger is just a cover up for what really is going on inside. But if we truly want to follow a healing process, we have to understand that we have to be okay to accept those emotions as part of our human experience. And we have to be okay to set in this place of being uncomfortable, because that's how we learn and that's how we grow. And I literally have been spending the last year and a half, but really the last, since the 1st of May, has been really, really, really uncomfortable. But when I'm really uncomfortable, I know now. I didn't used to know it. I used to get mad. I used to think, why the hell is this shit happening to me all the time? Now I know it's because I'm growing. It's because I'm expanding. It's because things are changing. I have even, in the last, and I don't share this lightly, I share this with you because I want you to see that I'm just like you are. In this last little bit, I have to admit, in probably the last 8 weeks, I have wanted to quit doing what I do more times than I have ever even considered that in the last 15 years. Because of the experiences that I'm having, because of the uncomfortableness, because it has made me get out of this surface shit and dig deep, deep down into the roots and go, why do I do what I do? Why am I here? Why am I having these experiences? And what is it that I need to understand? And what is it that I need to grow from? And yes, I have wanted to quit. Those of you who are on, have any of you ever wanted to quit life? Quit your job, quit all the things? Post in the comments. Give me a hell yes. Tell me yes. Like, if you have ever had those feelings of, why am I putting myself through this? Because sometimes, yep, Georgianne's like, sometimes it would be so much easier. I get pissed at myself for not wanting to dig. I need to get that shit out. Man, we don't want to dig because it hurts. And it's uncomfortable. It's just these feelings that I'm talking about right here. Yes. Hello, Laura. Hello, Mandy. We get uncomfortable, and we don't want to be uncomfortable. We will do anything in our power. I mean, how many of you go out there ready to smash your finger because it's uncomfortable? Would anybody do that? Would you go get a hammer? The Spirit's showing me, like, would you go get the hammer and would you smash your finger just for the heck of it so that you could be uncomfortable? Why would your emotions be any different? Of course you wouldn't. No, the answer is hell no. We wouldn't do that. But we, as human, our total tendency is to not want to deal with these feelings. We don't want to deal with any of these. I want to quit. I don't want to do this anymore. This is too hard. We don't want to ask ourselves why. We're just like, nope, I'm out. I'm done. And that's our first kind of go-to. But for me, I want to share a story with you because I feel that it's important today. And those of you who are just coming on, hello. I don't usually do lives on Monday, but I have felt inspired to come on and share with you guys today. This is more just Gina shooting from the hip. So this is what I love to do. I love to just connect with Spirit, and they're telling me this is what I need to talk about today. So I'm going to share some things with you because I hope, in the hopes that it will help you, for one, understand me better, and for another thing, see that you're not in this alone. Because I literally, hello Sandra, have wanted to quit, and I have wanted to be in this place of not wanting to do this anymore. And I had to really set back. And for those of you, I need to back up a little bit so that you can understand. For those of you who know me, I have a story just like everybody else has. And the reason that I do what I do is because I thought it was about that story. I thought that it was about all of those things. And I realized it's not about any of that. And these things that have been going on in my life here recently have made me dig deeper and realize what my true why is. And I want to share that with you today because there is a reason that I'm here. And it wasn't the reason that I thought. And I remember when I decided that I wanted to steer away from mediumship. Well, even before then, I've always known that I needed to help, that I was here to serve. I was here to serve the masses, not just one or two people. I'm here to serve a great deal of people. And I'm here to help them because of the experiences that I go through, learn to get through their own stuff. And learn to deal with life and learn to heal, not learn to not be uncomfortable. We all need to be uncomfortable, but help people, truly help women is who I deal with. All of you that are on here, I deal 99%. I've done a little bit of work with men, and 99% of my work has always been with women because I connect with them. I love helping women heal their shit. I love helping women understand themselves better. And this is what I have always wanted to do. And as I have grown this last year, it has been very uncomfortable. And, I've changed the way that I've done a lot of things. I've changed the things that I do because I've been inspired to do so, because this is where I've been led. I've really been led down this healing path. But because of my story, and I have had a hard time with it lately. And for those of you who know me, if you don't know my story, the reason that one of the reasons, because I know that I'm here to serve, but I actually lost my brother at age 17 to suicide. My brother committed suicide. He took his own life. And because of that, our family has went through so much. And it has been such a learning lesson. He's the reason that I thought the reason that I do what I do today. And when I went into mediumship, it was because I had my brother pushing me along, telling me this is where I needed to go and this is what I needed to do. Now, I've been a medium my whole life. I didn't know what it was. If you guys haven't read my book, you can read my story in there. I didn't understand this whole thing about spirit communication. I'd been doing it my whole life. I just thought I was weird. I just thought that I was the woo-woo lady that didn't know anything, and I would get these premonitions and I wouldn't understand where they would come from, and they were so confusing to me because of my religious beliefs, and I just didn't understand it all. And I would hear voices I just didn't understand, and it scared literally the living shit out of me. And I spent a lot of years in that place of not understanding and being afraid. And now I actually teach, like I said, mostly women, to not be afraid and to connect with their spirit guides and to connect with spirit and with those that have crossed over, because it is not a fearful place to be, because I don't want anyone to live in that place of fear. But after losing my brother, I went through so many years of anger and sadness and sorrow and all the things. And then I found intuitive healing, and it literally changed my life. It literally changed the way that I saw life. I showed up differently. My life has completely transformed since I found intuitive healing. 100%, hands down. And then as I got into mediumship and learned more about mediumship, that transformed my life as well. And because of my brother's passing, I've been able to help other people who are the survivors of suicide and who are the survivors. And because we always want to talk about the dead person, we always want to talk about the person who's no longer here and how sad it was for them. Well, what the hell about the rest of us who were left behind? What about those people? If we lose somebody tragically, what about those people? We don't want to talk about that. We want to glorify the spirit and make everybody think that, they were having a tough time, but it doesn't mean that we don't have feelings about it. Anything that we're going through in life, it doesn't mean that we don't have feelings about it. These are the things that we need to work on. This is our traumas. These are what we need to heal from. And because of the experiences that I've had, and I was able to go through that and to find a way to push through and to find a way to release that sadness, that anger, which was really just that sadness of the experience. That's all it was. And I was able to move through that, and sometimes in trauma, we don't get that nurturing that we need at the time, because if we did, it wouldn't be a trauma. But because of my experiences, I have been all through that. Recently, we actually had another experience that was close to home, another suicide experience. This one was an attempt, and it was devastating. And I thought, hi, Meezy, I thought I had healed. I thought I was good. And I wasn't. It freaking rocked my world. Sorry. No, I'm not going to apologize for tears today. It literally rocked my world, which is why I'm sharing this with you today. But I was in such a different place to be able to deal with it this time because of the healing work that I had done. And it was the reason I wanted to quit. If I can't help my close family members, how the hell am I supposed to help all of you? Because I let my ego get in the way. But I realized, this is what I realized through all of this. My why wasn't strong enough. Because sometimes we get into life and we think, oh, I know my why. I know my why. And I thought I knew my why. I thought I knew that I just needed to help people, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to keep pushing at that point, to keep going through these things. Because I'm thinking, how much easier would it be to just step back and step out of these roles, step out of this heaviness, step out of this place of trying to help everybody heal, and I could just live my life. But you know what? I can't. And I spent many days crying, spent many days dealing with my feelings. I've spent many days not working because I'm not in the headspace to do it. And the thing that I realized through all of this is, for one, it was okay. I had the biggest sob cry of my life that I don't ever remember being in that place of sobbing, snot rolling down your face. The ugly part of healing has been in my world lately. And it's okay. Because what I gained from that was, for one, a deeper level of healing. Because even when we think we have healed from something, all of the healing work that I have done around that was not enough to make this okay. And it was another layer. We heal in onions. We heal in the onion layers, and this was a deep layer. This was roots that were embedded in for lifetimes of shit. Lifetimes of suicide. Lifetimes of losing and not winning. Lifetimes of being in this place of not understanding. And sometimes it's hard in our human world to wrap our head around that. But I sat with it. And I sat in that place. But it made me take a step back from the work that I do. That's how much it shook my foundation. Because I thought I knew. And I remember sitting in this place. And those of you who know me know that I spend a lot of time with my guides. I have got to know my guides very well. I know that they're an active part of my world, and thank God for that, because they're the only reason that I could sit here and say, you know what? And I did. I sat with them and I said, I don't know if I can keep doing this. I don't know if I can push through this one. This one's tough, and I need your help. And I need you to help me understand why. And I heard in my head that morning, because you promised. And I was like, I don't even know what I promised. What did I promise? I need you to help me understand. And I saw in my head this little 17-year-old girl sitting in her childhood bedroom, promising God that if he would help me heal, I would help someone else. And I sat there with that, and I was like, what the hell? I was a little girl. I was freaking 17 years old. And I heard in my head again, but you promised. And in that moment, I understood my why. Because I had already promised at 17 that I would help someone else. I would help whoever I could work through their stuff. Now, at the time, that 17-year-old girl thought that I would be some social worker or some counselor or some, I would help people, help kids deal with mental illness. That's what I thought. Well, none of that worked out in my life. I tried going back to school. I had done all that. None of that worked out for me. And bam, healing fell in my lap. Now, at 17, I didn't understand that. I had no idea. It was several years later before I even was introduced to the whole healing world. But I knew in my heart, in that moment, what my why was. My why was because of what I had been through. And I didn't want anyone to have to carry that for as many years as I did. And if they did, I wanted to be able to help them to heal, which is why I do what I do today. My why is no longer a question. My why is no longer in question. And that why is enough to get me through. That why, even when I'm going through shitty hard times, having to make shitty decisions in business, when things just aren't working out, when I'm struggling with clients, whatever it is, that why is enough for me. That why will be enough. And maybe at some point that'll change again. I don't know. But to be reminded on why I do what I do, that's why I'm here. And what a gift, even though all the shit, and I'm going to call it that, that I have been through in this last little bit. And I don't say that one-sided. There is many sides to this story. There is many, many other angles to this story. And I'm just sharing with you my side of the story. That even though I had been through all of that, I realized, you know what? There's a reason for everything. And it's easy to say that now, but when you're in the shit, it's really hard. And when we're in the middle of these hard things to deal with, it's hard to say, you know what? I know this is for my learning and growth. Because what we want to say is, you know what? Screw this. And I'm backing out, baby, because I'm out of here. I can't deal with this. Geez, I could go live on a freaking beach somewhere and make life be okay. But it's not always okay. As long as we're having this human experience, things are going to hit the fan. The thing that I have learned is don't shove them away. Sit with them. Be uncomfortable. Be okay to be uncomfortable. The thing that I have learned lately is that if I have helped many women heal. And if you're not okay to come and cry and sob and have ugly, ugly breakdowns, then we're probably not in the place to heal together, because this is the kind of healing that I'm talking about. This is the kind of healing that I have been through lately. And this is the kind of healing that I help provide for other people. Because we need to be okay to not be okay. And we need to make this healing journey. This is another one of the reasons, a normal part of our human existence. Because you didn't come here to have a cakewalk. You didn't come here to just live your life. Now, our attitude changes how we deal with things. Sounds like my dogs are going to bark. Oh, somebody's sneezing. Our attitude changes how we perceive them. But you didn't come here to have a cakewalk. And if you're thinking that because you start doing your own healing work, things get better. Now, they do get better in a different way. We have more understanding. The healed part of you doesn't stay in those ugly places as long. But because we have duality, because we have you've got to have the good and the bad, the light and the dark, we have all of these things. Just because you're on your healing journey doesn't mean that you're never going to have any issues. It doesn't mean that you're just going to walk through life. It means that you're going to deal with them very differently than you would have done when you were unhealed. That's what it means. That's what this is all about. So I sat here today telling you, you're not alone. I want all of you to know you're not alone. Even when you think you have to deal with the shit all by yourself, you're never alone. We've all got our team with us. We all have good people around us. And you have amazing guidance system. If you will listen and if you'll step the hell out of your own way, they will send you to where you need to go and what you need to do so that you can get exactly what you need and the help that you need to make it through this life. We're not sent here to do this by yourself. It's freaking impossible to do this by yourself. We're always given what we need. And I've noticed that for myself this year. I've had probably one of the toughest years I've had in a long time. I've also had one of my biggest growth years. And it's because I have totally invested in myself this year. I have invested in my healing. I have invested in my learning and in my growth. I have invested in me. And because of that, I am very different. I am a very different Jeannie even from January of this year. When I show up now in healing, I show up very differently than I even did at the beginning of this year. And it's because of where I have been and what I have been through. And I would not change that for not 1 minute. The growth that has happened because I have stood up and said, okay, I will be uncomfortable. This morning, we have Monday morning calls in our mastermind. I was the first one. I said, I'll sit on the hot chair. I want to be uncomfortable. And I know some of you are like, what? You got the hammer out and hit your finger yourself? Yep. I want to do that now because I understand that when I do that, my healing happens. My healing changes me. And putting myself in those uncomfortable seats makes things go a lot easier for me in the long run. It gives me understanding. It gives me depth. It helps me to grow. So if you're sitting in this uncomfortable place, for one, I want you to remind yourself, we don't grow when things are easy. We have to get uncomfortable in order for things to change. So if you're sitting in an uncomfortable place, pat yourself on the back. Congratulations. I'm glad you're here. Welcome to the Healing Club. If you're feeling that things are super easy, and we do have times where things kind of level out and we get a break for a minute, which is nice. But if you are just sitting in this place and you're not dealing with life, this is when you know you're not pushing yourself forward. And some people get bent out of shape about that. They're like, yes, I am. I'm doing all the things. Nope. If you're comfortable, you're not growing. And if you're avoiding getting uncomfortable, that's a place of resistance. This is part of our growth. But this is a place where you need to look at and say, why am I avoiding this? What is it that I don't want to deal with? What is it that I'm not dealing with? For me, I believe 100% we can do a lot of our own healing work ourselves. When you get a healer, they'll move through that shit 1,000,000 times faster than you ever will. Because we're not always willing to be awake and to look at ourselves for what's really going on. And understanding. I've had to make some big decisions in business lately. And the first thing I ask myself these days is, what is it about me that I need to understand about this situation? What is it that I need to get? What is it that I need to understand? Because just because people aren't showing up like we want them to, it's usually not about them, it's about us. So what is it? What are my expectations? Did I make my expectations clear? No. And so there's problem number one. What is it that I need to look at? And what is it that I need to understand? And what is my ownership in all of this? And so many times in life, we want to look around and blame everybody around us, but we're not willing to look in the mirror and go, so what is my part in this? What is it that I need to understand? Even in the suicide, even with traumas, what is it that I need to understand from all of this? Because I'm in the middle of this for a reason. There's something here for me to get. There's something here for me to understand. For me, it woke me the hell up. That was a whole spiritual awakening for me. This year for me, it's been 30 years since my brother passed away. And it has been 30 years of waking the hell up for me. So what is it that you need to understand? What is it that you need to get out of these situations? Because it's not always, and we don't go here in the beginning. Let me backtrack. When we have a tragedy in our life, when I told you this family things that's going on, I didn't go there to start off. I had to deal with my emotions. In fact, I kept telling myself, Jenny, you're free to feel and be and do whatever you need to be, and we will deal with the aftermath later. And I reminded myself that many, many times, that it's going to be okay. I'll deal with the rest later. You know how this healing process works. We will get through what we need to get through. We will take care of what we need to take care of, and then we will deal with the rest later. And sometimes we just need to remind ourselves that we don't always have to be in healing mode. And then when the time is right, then when we're ready to hear it, this is when we step into that place of healing. What do I need to understand? What do I need to know? What do I need to see in all of this that is for my highest good? Because we don't go through things just to go through. You're not being punished by anybody. You're here to have an experience. What we do with it is up to us. What you do with it, what each and every one of you do with your time every day is totally up to you. And you get to choose. And we can stay in this place of ignoring life and making yourself sick and miserable and sad and not understanding why, and in this place of depression, or we can choose to step out of it and go, what am I missing? What am I not understanding? And I miss a lot of things too. I was just reminded this past week about some things that I have been going through, and I'm getting ready to teach a spirit communication course. And I had decisions to make, and I actually told my guys, we can laugh about this one. This one's not as serious, but it is, but it's not. And I told my guys, I said, I want 3 yellow butterflies, and I need it before Monday because I have a decision to make. And if you bring me those 3 yellow butterflies, I will know that this is the right thing for me to do. Sandra, it took me 40 years to figure all this out. I know, Sandra, it took me a long time too, so don't feel bad. There's no time frame for any of this. Whenever you learn it is when you were supposed to get it. Whenever you get it, that's when you were supposed to get it. So anyway, I asked my guys for 3 yellow butterflies together. Can you please bring them together in a cluster? This isn't hard. You can do this in my yard. You can do that, wherever. I want 3 yellow butterflies. Well, I saw 1 yellow butterfly, and I saw another one that I thought maybe was a yellow butterfly, but that wasn't enough. I'm like, nope, spirit, 3 yellow butterflies together, all at the same time. Then I'll know this is the right decision that I'm supposed to make. Well, deadline came and went. You know what? No more butterflies. And I'm like, but the thing is in my heart of hearts, I knew that my answer was yes, and that I needed to go ahead and push forward with the thing that I was asking for. And I was kind of pissed at my guys because I'm like, you know what? I am getting sick of flying by blind faith. Like, just for once, could you freaking give me the sign? Like, why the hell is this so different? Like, I really am telling my guys this. I'm like, I don't understand this shit. I told you I had a deadline to make a decision, and I had to do it before then. There was no going back. I was either in or out. And so I went ahead and I said yes. But I wasn't a complete hell yes. Because of everything that I've had going on in my life, it wasn't a hell yes for me. It was kind of like, Gina, if you want to do it, then sign up. And if you don't, then don't do it, and we will bring something else to you. And for me, I was like, no, I think this is the best thing for me to do. So I went ahead and I signed up and I did what I needed to do this past weekend. And I was kind of mad at my guys, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I get it, guys. Like, teaching me some crazy ass lesson here. Okay, fine. Well, over the weekend, we were up. We went over to Colorado. My husband's family lives over there. And we have a side-by-side. If you don't know what those are, they're the UTVs, the things that kind of look like vehicles that you can take anywhere. And so we took it up in the San Juans over in Colorado and spent the weekend over there. Do you know that I saw more butterflies? I saw yellow ones. I saw white ones. I saw pink ones. I saw more butterflies in the time that we were over there on the mountain than I have probably seen in my entire life. And they just kept coming out of the woodwork. And I heard in my head, see, we have your back. We've always had your back. You just get it in your head of what you want and how you want it, and don't see what's really going on around you. And I do that. I will honestly, openly admit to that. I get in this place of, nope, this is what I want. This is how you're going to do it. Instead of allowing them to lead me, I lead the way and then wonder why it doesn't work out my way. Because I'm a freaking control freak sometimes. I know this about myself. I am. And so I saw that. Not only did we see the butterflies, if that wasn't enough. No, I didn't ask for these, but we kept seeing millions of marmots. If you don't know what those are, they're whistle pigs. They love being up in the high mountain country. We were up super high. I get I get high altitude sickness, so it's a little rough in some places for me. But anyway, I saw marmots all over the place. And I came back and I read what the spiritual meaning of marmots were. And if you haven't read that, I'll let you go read that. But it was really cool to watch my guides work in a different way than I had even imagined. And watch them create my world for me in front of me, literally. Like I'm watching this play out in front of me, knowing that I'm well taken care of. And you guys can have the same thing. I share these stories with you because look around, wake the hell up. There's so much here for you. There's so much learning and so much growth. And if we will commit to being uncomfortable, you will never look back. I promise you. Once you step forward, just all you got to do is just put one foot in the game. Your guides will lead you the whole way. They will take care of you. They will nurture you. They will help you. They will help you know your why. They will help you know what you're supposed to do. It won't come in the way that you want it. That I can guarantee. It will not come how you think it's going to come. And the minute that we step the hell out of our way, out of our uncomfortableness, out of our humanness, and allow them to lead our way is when your life will change. And that is what has happened for me. I sit here in front of you telling you, I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, this is how change happens. Nobody can give you, here, do this step, do this step, do this step, do this step. You have to take those steps by yourself. But there will be people along the way who will lead you and help you so that you can get where you need to go. And it comes just as we need it. It comes just when you think you can't take any more. That's when we get that break. That's when things open up for us. Because at that time, that's where we're open. That is where we're like, you know what? We're begging for help at this point. Sandra, it is such an amazing experience. Sandra is one of my, she's in my healing membership with me, and she has come so far. I look at Sandra, and it's freaking amazing to be part of her world. I'm going to cry just talking about you, Sandra, because Sandra has jumped in. What do I need to do? Where do I need to go? She is standing up going, make me uncomfortable. Let me be uncomfortable. And it's not always easy. It is totally not easy. If you think that this healing life is going to be roses, you have got the wrong idea. Because healing is, just like I said earlier, sobbing, nasty, heaving, all the things that we think we don't want to deal with. But when we step into that place, that is when our healing happens. All of those emotions have to come out. There's nothing wrong with crying. They all have to come out. They can't stay in there anymore. Because when they do, that's when our bodies get sick. When we leave them in there, that's when we have physical issues. Because those emotions, that energy turns into something big. I'm a firm believer. You want to know why people go through cancer? And I'm not blaming anybody. We just have to be willing to deal with our shit. And this is why I do what I do, is because this is where we get you want to live the life that you've always desired. This is how it happens. Sandra says, finally seen my feathers, and I've been asking for a while now. They were on the damn TV last night. My husband said, there's your feathers, right? Like, it doesn't come. I've told a story before. Last time we went to Colorado, every time I go to Colorado, we go up in the mountains. And Robert's dad, he taught me about having a father in a lot of ways. And it's not that my dad is a bad person. My husband's father really just brought me in and had such a loving way about him. And I lost him back in 2015. He passed away. He lived a great life. I have missed him. I realized how much I had missed him this weekend. Even though I'm a medium and I connect with people, we still miss people in the physical. But anyway, I had told him I wanted to know that he was with us. And I asked for a bear, okay? A real bear, okay? In my mind's eye, I asked for a bear. And you would think I would learn my lesson. I don't. I'm just like you. Anyway, I had asked for a bear. And I said, let me know that you're with us. We were going on a train ride. We were going to be out in the mountains. A bear was not going to be a big deal, at least in my mind. I didn't think it was going to be that big a deal. I've watched my father-in-law, because all of his family has hunted for years. bring out animals out of the woodwork and do the craziest, weirdest things to let his kids know that he's there. Surely he can do this bear. Piece of cake. Well, we head over, spend all the time up in the mountains, no bear. All weekend, no bear. Never saw a bear. And I was like, well, I guess it just isn't happening. And we were driving home, and the air show was going on, and my husband's like, look, the jets are in the, we were just driving through Grand Junction, and he's like, look, the jets are in the air. They were doing the air show. And I'm like, how cool is that? And lo and behold, while I did that, I looked over. There's the biggest teddy bear I have ever seen in the clouds. And you could not deny that that was a teddy bear. And even my husband said, just like Sandra said, there's your bear. I'm like, oh my God, you're right. There's my bear. Like, it was just right there. So my idea of a real bear, and the cool thing is that it was this biggest teddy bear that I have. It's like one of those big, huge teddy bears. I just brought my brother one for Christmas this year because he's in the care center and with COVID and all the things. Those big teddy bears to me is like the biggest bundle of love ever. And so these are the kind of things that we're open to it. You will always know that you're taken care of. It's just opening to the ways of spirit. It's opening to understand that it's not about our way and our timing and our things. It's about allowing things to come to us, allowing these things to just flow through us, and allowing ourselves to be in a place where we can be guided and led so that we know what we need to do and where we need to go. So I'm going to leave this all with you. I hope there's something that I have said today that has lit your fire. I hope I light a fire under your ass, because if there is anything today that I have said that stands out for you, I would love to chat with you. You can message me. Let's chat. I really, truly believe in the work that I have been allowed to do here, 100% hands down, because it has changed my life. It has changed my family's life, and it has changed the life of people like Sandra and my beautiful friends that have been able to come into my world because of what I do. This is my why. I do it because I made a promise, and I do it because this is what needs to happen. This is what our earth needs. This is what I know so many people need, and so many people can change, and so many people can show up so differently in life. I just can't from the deepest part of my heart, I know what I know. And I've said that forever. I know what I know, and there's no going back. There's no changing for me. I want to make this healing part of life normal. I want to help people see that it is normal to be a mess some days. It is normal to be in this place of feeling good. It's normal to be centered and have good days, and it's also normal to not. And it's all okay. All of it is okay. But I also want to bring out that fire in people and allow them to learn how to do this work for themselves. Allow them to know that it's okay. So if there's any part of this that has lit your fire, if there's any part of you, please message me and let's talk. I would love to have you part of my world. There's lots of ways that you can work with me. Lots of ways that you can be in my world. So I'm honored to be here with all of you. I thank you all for listening today. And I hope that something here has helped you in your life in some way deal with what you're going through, because life isn't always roses. It's not a piece of cake, and it was never meant to be. But we can learn to adapt, and we can learn to get through it and know that you're going to be okay. No matter what shit gets thrown at you, you're going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. So I love you all. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for being part of my world. I want you to know that I truly appreciate every single one of you and being part of my world. And if you have any questions, thank you, Laura. I'm so glad you're here. If you have any questions for me, if you have anything, I would encourage each and every one of you to invest in yourself. I told you that earlier. The reason that I have come so far this year and that I am able to sit here in front of you and not have quit is because I have invested in myself. And I have invested in my own healing. I have invested in my family. I have invested in a lot of different things because I know that I'm worth it. And I know that we don't have to be in this place of sadness and sorrow all the time. We can go through these things and it's going to be okay. So I love you all. Thank you for being here. And it was so good to see you all today. And I hope you have an amazing, fabulous Monday. I hope you enjoyed your card reading this morning. Make sure to check back in later today for the card reveal. We can get so many answers just from doing that help us along our way. So much love to all of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of my world. And I'll talk to you soon. I think I was just reading comments. I don't know who that is. This is Facebook user, but you are very welcome. I'm not going to quit because you just made a comment on you are so strong. I'm not strong. I'm just like you. I've just learned how to trust. So think about that. I'm like, I appreciate you saying that. I'm like, so many people think, oh my gosh, she's just strong. She's just doing her thing. No, I have sobby, cry days just like you. But I get up here and share because I want people to understand, this is part of it. And I want to make this normal. I want to make it okay to not be okay. And that was my message for you today. So sending you much love. I can't see your name because I'm on StreamYard. It just says Facebook user. But I'm sending you so much love. So whatever you're going through, know that my heart sees your heart and you can do this too. So thank you, everyone. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.